Hey, my name is Adam, and there was a time in my life where I actually just had no purpose, and I wasn't even aware that my life could have purpose. It was like I had this deep sense in me that there had to be some reason to why I was on the planet, but just never actually knew what that could be. And so as a teenager, I was trying to just build around this insecurity in my life. I always thought I was a failure. I just wasn't accepted. I just didn't get along with a lot of people. And I always felt kind of like a loner and an outcast. And so through all that, I started experimenting with drugs. First, classic story where I chose drugs, and then soon they chose me. And what started as something that was fun at a party started to just ruin my life. So mixed with insecure teenager, add lack of purpose, and then add drug abuse, I quickly became an addict where I spent most of my time alive more high than I was sober. And so through all that, I just became very depressed and actually started to contemplate taking my own life and committing suicide. And so through that, a friend actually not knowing what was happening on the deep side of it, like in my heart, he invited me out for coffee at a Tim Hortons, and that night he told me three things. He said, one, God loves you. Two, God has a purpose for your life. And then he said, if you don't really give your life to Jesus, you can't just believe in him, you actually have to give your full self to him. And if you don't, you'll actually be separated from him forever. And it was the first time I'd ever heard this. I was like, what? I had no idea. And so the next week, I actually just had this, I hit rock bottom. I had grabbed a bottle of Tylenol or something from the cabinet, was like, I'm gonna take my own life. I'm so depressed, so broken. I'm like, it's either this bottle of pills or I'm gonna try this Jesus thing. So I called up my friend and was like, hey, can we go talk about Jesus tonight? So we met at that same Tim Hortons, and in that Tim Hortons, I gave my life to Jesus, and that following Sunday started going to church. And what happened over the next couple months is I just had this wild transformation where time upon time I was starting to experience the love and presence of God, and I had no idea. I didn't know what it was until one day I finally just said, okay, I need to stop playing games. I'm done with drugs. I'm gonna just say yes to Jesus, give my full undivided heart to him. And when I did, he met me in such an incredible way that I was instantly set free from drug abuse, depression, suicide, and I was a completely changed person. And so I want to invite you, there's this event called Come Together in June 2nd to 4th, and that event is going to be your opportunity to have that moment where you say yes to him, and you discover, like I did, that Jesus is not only true, but he loves you and has a purpose for you, and he wants to completely change your life.